Do it here in the Community Cup. Why not send them down to the quarterfinals and secure your spot in the semifinals? You got an opportunity to do it right here. The question is, will you be able to?
And of course, you know, Bravado was slightly a different team than when they beat Falcons. They had glows on the team before, but this is still 2/3 of the same roster that took down Falcons. So it is not a far cry to think that they could do it again. And that is not the way you want to start if you're Bravado Gaming. Double tap from Killers to put it home. And for Team Falcons, well, right back to business.
Yeah, Falcons are going to be feeling very good about getting an early goal, especially that quickly, mainly because guess what? Like you stated, if a squad's beaten you before, Falcons are not going to want to give them any confidence. And, you know, even if it's 0-0, let's say 2-3 minutes in, that's going to feel good for Bravado because they're keeping Falcons off the board, but Bravado getting on the board themselves.
Yeah, the only thing you have to think about here is, I mean, this is a massive miss from TRK. So for Twiz, yes, free goal off the kickoff, and you get the response, but you don't expect missed touches or just not hitting the ball at all from Team Falcons in a situation like that too often. But it's good to convert when those chances arrive, which are very rare for any top team. You have to be able to convert, and Bravado do just that.
Capitalizing on the opportunity given up by Team Falcons. Bravado doing a solid job of getting the tie. And now only 30 seconds in. Gotten a lot of fireworks so far in this game. Number one. It is going to be right now. Falcons just trying to get the clear. Bravado doing a solid job of not making that easy. The question is Bravado going to be able to do anything with it while it's on the Falcons half? The answer is no. Skillier is going to be centering this one. Is anyone going to be there? No. The clear is going to be there once again. Vampires was waiting on it. They're not going to be able to get a touch to it. It gets centered either way. Dangerous in front of the net, off the backboard, and one more touch coming out, but nothing is going to be there as Rawas able to get the save.
And now things starting to settle in for both teams. I think for Team Falcons, maybe, you know, I guess a sleepy start for them in their first series, and they're coming out with pace against Bravado. Bravado also came out with pace in their first series as well, so it is going to be kind of the battle of speed here. And I think a lot of people would pick Falcons for a battle like that. Here's a lot of space now for TRK. Can get over what he does. Tries to dunk this one down for his teammate Rawas, who's there to tap it home. And Team Falcons perfectly executed on the challenge, and they're back up by one.
TRK and Rawas get that communication going. He understands, hey, listen, this guy's challenging me. Be there for the cleanup. Rawas is right there, and nobody's in front of the net to put a hand up. And that's going to be all Team Falcons. They're going to be feeling good about how that one was put together.
Dangerous kickoff again. Bravado getting the better of Team Falcons. Team Falcons, though, right back in the driver's seat as this one saved away by Nader. And for Bravado Gaming, they will have to live on the counterattack. It's a very common talking point when you talk about Team Falcons. They're aggressive. Their rotation is so tight that their third man is often in line with a second or first man when their rotation is in kind of that flow state. And that's your opportunity to counterattack a team like Team Falcons. This is when they get overconfident in that rotation. You saw it in their previous years. It's why Victory Esports was able to take a game off them. But in the end, in most cases, for Team Falcons, it doesn't really matter. Even the mistakes they give up, they just have such great offensive output. It never comes back to bite them. And here in this series so far, in game one, halfway through, they're up 3-1.
I mean, you said it. I mean, they can make some mistakes, but this squad has shown that those mistakes can get cleaned up just with raw skill. I mean, even in their first series of the day, they were down 4-1 with 40 seconds left and were able to win that game. So, I mean, listen, this squad can definitely make up for some of their mistakes that they do create on the pitch, but either way, those mistakes are few and far in between. The Falcons right now are coming back with a vengeance in this second series of the day for them.
For Bravado, I mean, listen, they are generating some opportunity, but you see here, there was never really a chance for them to get a clean shot on target. That's going to be their biggest hurdle in this game. It's not going to be about getting down the field or even counterattacking or even setting up your opportunity. It's getting that clean shot. Something that Team Falcons do so well is they always have a player sitting on the ball, close to the ball, whether it's offensively or defensively. They just don't give you space. And so for Bravado Gaming, it will be about how can they generate that space and have a clean shot, because even here, it's just so difficult for them to cleanly fire off on the net.
Yeah, clearly Bravado are not comfortable right now, and I mean, that's the thing is you can't be comfortable if you're not getting any space to work with, and Falcons are giving you no room right now, like you stated. Doing a great job of just suffocating this Bravado defense to try to make them scramble, and that's exactly what they're doing yet again, trying to scramble to get this one out of their own half. The challenge coming through. Rawas now up with it. The bump not coming in for Bravado. Is Rawas able to do it by his lonesome? No, he's not. Killery's going to be able to take this one the other way, getting a touch onto it, but my goodness, Twiz sends it right on back, all the way across the pitch, able to get that one.
And that's good work from Bravado here. These are the type of goals they're going to have to look out for. That quick snake bite offense. It's in and it's out. And in this case, they're in and they score. And that's exactly how they want to do it. They've given themselves plenty of time to get back into this game.
1 minute remaining for Bravado. We've seen them score a lot of goals within a minute. The question is, are you going to be able to do it against Team Falcons right here and now when Falcons understand the situation that they're in? 50 seconds left. They have the advantage. They just don't need to give up any goals. They don't need to get cued on offense. They don't need to make it pretty. They just got to get through the next 40 seconds.
So far for me, the scorecard for Team Falcons, we were harsh on them against their win against Victory Esports in their first series. In this game one, barring a meltdown here in the last 30 seconds, I say it's been pretty good from Team Falcons. They're playing up to the pace that they expect to play at. And they're playing against a good team, too. It's not downplay Bravado. Being within one from Bravado is some great work, and they have some time here to still make the difference, or maybe Falcons can break through once again. They are threatening as everyone was out of the net for Bravado. Nader trying to get this one out, but he had no options, and Team Falcons looking to ice up game one.
Everyone was out of the net 10 seconds ago, and everyone's still out of the net right now after it gets cleared directly in front of the net. And Rawas is going to clean that up. He says, all right, thank you very much. You're not going to get a strong clear. I will take that all day long. And now with only 7 seconds left, that is all the air out of the Bravado sails.
And now you can safely say, for Team Falcons, this was a great first game. They came out the gates hot. They were executing on offense. And really, when you look at the 2 goals that they gave up, one of them was just a missed touch by TRK off a kickoff, which is a freak accident. It happens, but very rarely. And then the second goal, just gives some credit over to Bravado. Great little downhill. It very quickly turns into a run and a sprint. And they're the type of team that can snowball these series very quickly. They can get in and out in a 3-0 very fast if you let them. So for Bravado Gaming, it wasn't the worst game in the world, but there was a freebie in there, and for Team Falcons, they're not going to give that up too easily, and certainly not the same consistency.
Right now, Bravado did start this one off nicely, getting it into the Falcons' half, but unfortunately not able to find much behind it. So it is going to be Rawas collecting this one, going to be challenged at the mid. He's going to win this one out regardless. Team Falcons still able to put on pressure, and Rawas gets the cleanup. Oh my gosh, what a meltdown by the Bravado defense.
Yeah, for Bravado, I mean, listen, Twiz is in there. He's trying to get this one out from his corner. He gets dunked, and there's just no more help when chaos ensues. And that's the thing that Falcons are trying to make happen continuously in their offenses, just to put you in chaotic mode. And it's been so tough for Bravado to stay with the play. And you've seen that now in this first goal, but in previous goals as well. And Team Falcons, they thrive, especially offensively, in that environment. And you can see why Rawas was all over that first goal.
Oh, yeah. TRK on the defensive end, with Rawas doing a solid job of making sure that nothing from Bravado is going to start to ease their way toward their goal, start to creep on up. Because if this squad and Bravado starts to get some momentum, we've seen them put on a lot of goals in a row. So they are a squad that can get hot, and they are a squad that's beaten Team Falcons before. So the thing is will Team Falcons be able to keep them at bay long enough? And I think, honestly, the answer is yes right now. Right now, Bravado haven't really showed me much in this series to really say, like, okay, yeah, this squad's gonna bring some firepower and maybe take a game off of Falcons. Right now, I got all the confidence in Falcons to close this one out in 3.
Yeah, I mean, we keep saying, yeah, Bravado's beaten Falcons, but they played them more than just the one time Bravado's beaten them. And more often times than not, Falcons has 3-0 Bravado. So let's just make it clear here that while Bravado has certainly beaten Falcons, it usually ends in a 3-0 in all the times that they've played. So, you know, certainly Team Falcons heavily favored, and so far, certainly living up to that.
Oh, yeah. It's always that one team that beats the good team one time. Says, remember that one time we beat
exactly.
you? Like, it's one of those situations. But
hey, they are the only ones that beat them, so it does mean something.
Exactly. They still did it. You can't take it away from them. Even though it was a different roster, though, like you stated. So maybe a little bit different, but either way, right now, Falcons halfway through this game number 2, feeling good, in control. Killers is up,
Fake.
and away.
Wow.
He left it off for Rawas, and that's all you gotta do.
Brilliant from Killers. And we're not going to see too much of it in this replay, but you see he's faking like he's going to go for the shot. He got the first man to jump, and Nader bumps him out of the way, leaves it for Rawas. He takes a shot, and all the misdirection leads to a goal for Team Falcons. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, that bump was absolutely filthy. Great fake, great teamwork, and I mean, that's just what happens when you play together for so long, playing at such a high level. You're able to completely get that feel, understand exactly where your teammates are going to be at all times, have that communication on lock. And right now, Team Falcons, they are rolling up 2-0, trying to make it 3. You see, they got the momentum. The pressure's there as well. And Bravado were doing everything possible to get it out of their half and take the pressure off of their necks, because I know the pressure is a lot as the bumps are coming through. Oh, man, I thought TRK was about to put them on a highlight reel.
And now demos came out, but more importantly, boost has been stolen away for the spawners. So Bravado, unless they can get this one out through the midfield, they're going to give the ball right back up to Falcons. And they've got boost to work with, and they're playing off each other perfectly to the back wall again. Defensive players are able to get up from Bravado, but Falcons, this is typically how their games go. They are just locking the defenses into their defensive third, and for Team Falcons, it's attack after attack. They go high, they go low, they're on the ground. It's just relentless from Team Falcons.
Ridiculous speed coming out, and oh man, when is the onslaught gonna stop? It's just opportunity after opportunity. The bump comes through, but yet again, not able to convert. Either way, so many chances coming out for Team Falcons. Bravado have to be happy that over the last minute there hasn't been another goal to win in, because that right there was so much pressure that they just dealt with.
I mean, pressure's one thing, time's another. For Bravado Gaming, that was like 40 seconds of just continuous defense. They are able to break out here and at least not sit on their defensive third, but again, where are the clean chances for Bravado? There's not much. It's just Team Falcons swarming the ball on both ends of the field.
Yeah, the big demo comes out, and that leaves the door open, but a little bit of a race back as a little bit of a mishap there by the Falcons, but either way, man, maybe actually the Falcons not going to recover as Bravado putting on some pressure here, and that was one of the mistakes we're talking about that they could make that you have to capitalize on. And
even then, even if they got a freebie there, this game was over. I mean, Falcons just entered Super Saiyan mode at the end of this game, and it just felt like the opposition so far have certainly looked like it. I don't think anyone would disagree with us. We've kind of beaten this one into the ground a little bit, but it's true for Falcons, when there's only 3 other teams in their group, they look that much bigger. And so far in this series and in the previous, Falcons have looked to be the better team.
The better team, but who will be the better team in game 3? It's a pivotal game right here. It's either the start of a reverse sweep or a closeout opportunity. So right now, Falcons are trying to make it the latter. Already putting a lot of pressure onto this Bravado defense, who is trying to turn things around. Bravado with a chance and opportunity, but what are they going to do with it? Not a lot. This one does get sent right back down into their half. The demo's coming out from Killers, and that could be setting up a nice little chance here for Falcons to get the first goal of this game.
TRK tried to fight to push this one out. He had everyone on Bravado looking at him, and they were successful at least turning away the pass, but Falcons are just right back to business, holding that midfield line. It's been so difficult for Bravado to have this type of control that you're seeing from Team Falcons, and even when they poke it free like this, it's right back into the hands of Falcons. Maybe Twiz can set something up, and he does get a fake. It's 2 men in front of Rawas, and for him, he's just happy to take the challenge, and something that, you know, Team Falcons always go for is those air dribbles. The evolution of the air dribble is so interesting, but for Falcons, it's just a mechanic that they use to break down defenses and take the challenges. But right now, Bravado's able to strike first, off the counter. Killers goes, and it leaves the backfield exposed. Rawas has his back turned, and that one put away.
Yeah, Vampire's able to take full advantage. He said, all right, listen, that's an open net. I got one opportunity, one shot. I'm taking it. And this is going to be Bravado's first advantage that they have had in this series. Falcons going to need to come back, but we know if we saw the first series of the day, you know that Falcons can come back if they need to. They were down 4-1 with 40 seconds left in game 2, and were still able to come back and win that game. So if they're able to do that, all I'm saying is if you got a 1-0 lead for Bravado, congrats. But I don't know how long you're going to be able to hang on to it. That's all I'm saying.
Especially with the offense that we've seen. Is that what rings just above the crossbar? Bravado certainly threatening in this game, obviously putting away their first big chance at a big bump, and no one there to follow up as that one just fell from the heavens into the box. Team Falcons, they didn't have an answer for that bump. They certainly weren't there fast enough, and Bravado, I just don't think expected it.
Rawas, the chance. He's got a player in the middle. Is he able to find him? He is. Oh, TRK gonna be solidifying the play as Rawas took it right up around the defender, dropped it off for the teammate. Oh my gosh, that's a thing of beauty right there.
Great little touch by Rawas to beat that first man in the corner as well. Bought himself space behind him, and that was enough space to drop it off to his teammate. Falcons, we never doubted their ability to put together goals like that. It's the expectation here. And for Bravado, they're going to have to finish their chances. They've had a couple in this game. They finished one and left another one out to dry. So those opportunities are going to come far and few between for Bravado. They've got to convert.
And now halfway through this game, number 3, Falcons are going to be feeling great about their position, and even better now that they've got the advantage as Killers is going to be able to send this one in off the backboard.
And this is, again, a tough challenge for Bravado, and not enough redundancy in the defense. Once again, something I said in the previous series for Team Falcons playing against Victory Esports is that if you have your first man and he forces a challenge out of Falcons, you've got to have the second man be ready for what comes next, whether that's him going into the next challenge or clear. And Bravado didn't have it there, but they certainly have offense here as they're able to kind of slice their way through Falcons.
Able to get through and tie it up one more time, finding the equalizer. Twiz with a big one. And like we stated, Bravado, they can score. We know this squad is capable of it. They can score a lot, put a lot of points on that board, but the question is, are you able to do it against this Falcons team? So far in this game number 3, they're answering that by saying, yes, we can score and keep up with Falcons at least 3 minutes through this game number 3, but man, oh man, they've got a long way to go if they want to end up taking the win in this game.
They do sit tied up, as you mentioned, so this one hasn't gotten away from them yet. I think, as you mentioned earlier as well, that, you know, possession-wise, it seems like Team Falcons are controlling the game a bit more than Bravado. But this is an opportunity where Bravado not only are sitting tied with Team Falcons, but they're tied with a couple goals to their name, which is a big difference, I think, than being tied 0-0. They've been able to break Team Falcons now twice in this game. Can they do it a third to extend this series?
Yeah, you got to do it sooner than later, as you only got about 75 seconds left in this one. Killers takes it up. The shot opportunity from TRK this time is going to be there, but the save ends up coming out yet again for Bravado. Solid defensive plays, but are you going to be able to stop Killers now? He's up top, off the backboard, drops down to the center. TRK is going to be there. Not a lot of power behind it, but did he really mean to get that touch on the defensive end? They are able to get the clear. Bravado, it looked a little bit sloppy, but at the end of the day, they are able to put it back onto the Falcons' half.
Crunch time for Bravado. Again, they sit tied up, but this is the opportunity for them to extend this series. Team Falcons trying to sweep through. This is a clear. Killers, as that one tried to get back to Rawas, and Bravado cuts it out. Maybe an opportunity if they could hold on to possession, but they can't. That's a dangerous proposition if they can't cut those passes out and keep possession. Falcons are going to keep attacking.
The onslaught will keep on coming. Vampires tried to make a play on it, but it's going to be taken by TRK. That challenge is going to be met at the mid. The fake left low. Falcons going to be sending this one to overtime, letting it hit the ground. And now Falcons, I mean, this should be a comfort zone from them. 1 goal to win it. Let's see what happens.
Fake from Nader, but he put it right back into TRK. It was actually pretty smart from him. He bought himself some space. Vampires trying to make something work, but with no boost, he'll just careen into killers as Falcons sent 2, and they do get the clear. And back in possession, at least for the moment. Rawas lobs one towards net. It's a little high. And Twiz there on the clear.
Solid play from Rawas either way. Oh my goodness. Killers with the angle from the side. Let them know. Say, hey, listen, Fury isn't the only squad getting 3-0s out here. We'll take one too. As that angle is disgusting.